surprise. You asked us to create a solution that uses energy to impact 10 million lives. So instead, we went and impacted 1 billion. I, for one, believe that access to clean water is a fundamental and basic human right. A right that is widely being infringed upon, but a right that we intend to protect and fight for. We are a team of Princeton engineers, and we are pumped, pun intended, to find a solution to this problem. So we went and created WellPower. WellPower is the world's most cost-effective and sustainable solution to clean water ever. The problem is that 1 billion people lack access to clean water. This means that 80% of diseases and 3.4 million deaths every year are caused by this problem, and this burden is handed on to children mostly. We think that it is despicable to allow a problem like this to exist when the solution is easily within our grasp, or in this case, our box. So we intend to change that. The problem with clean water is not actually water. It's energy, people. Energy is required at every stage in the process, from pumping the water out of the ground, to pushing it through a filter or purifying it, to giving it to the people who need it most. So if we can find a way to empower people with clean water and energy, we can solve the single greatest barrier to development. So that's what we did. We packed up the infrastructure needed for all this water and energy, and we put it into one box. This system has a workflow. It hitches a ride and piggybacks in a flat packed box onto the site. From there, it's installed in 1 hour by 1 to 2 people. In fact, I assembled this entire thing today in my lunch break. The water source is any water source that's currently available. It can be a creek, it can be a pond, it can be a well. We can adapt to any water source. The water is pulled up by our powerful pumps and pushed through our 3-stage filtration process. This filtration process relies on sand and gravel to filter out large particles, UV in order to kill all biological organisms and viruses, and the last stage is reverse osmosis. The reverse osmosis filter is self-cleaning and it never needs replacement, ever. We invented this filter and we're currently working on developing it further and further. Here's a demo of our product. Yes. The entire product is powered by our system of upcycled solar panels and repurposed electric car batteries. The entire system also only costs $600. When you buy WellPower, you install it and forget about it. And from there, we hand the tools to the local community and empower them to keep their solution for their water going perpetually. This problem and solution is also patentable, and we're currently seeking a provisional patent in order to protect our company, give us control, and hopefully attract investors. We don't give people a water filter. We give people clean water.
Our solution is cheap and sustainable because we capitalize on the negative externalities of the energy revolution. We've identified a phenomenon commonly referred to as lithium-ion recycling gap. Essentially, lithium-ion battery recyclers are unwilling to recycle the 11 million tons of electric vehicle battery packs that we produce over the next 10 years. Why? It's simply economically infeasible due to the low cost of sourcing new lithium. Additionally, solar panels lose a lot of their value after their first owner. So, by inserting ourselves into these aftermarkets, we can extend their value chain and fulfill our sustainable mission. So, we're going to need a distribution network. Right? Wrong. If I've gotten anywhere in life, it's on the shoulders of giants. The Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Engineers Without Borders. These are the giants that have spent years building a vast distribution network across a number of different developing nations. We are a tech company with a great product, and by selling to these organizations with pre-existing distribution channels, we can proliferate our product and get it to the communities that need it most.
We succeed where other social entrepreneurs fail because we are culturally compatible. What that means is our product seamlessly integrates into existing workflows. So we've done some market research, specifically in Kenya West and Kenya, and what we realized is we just heard people say, we don't want to change the way that we get water. We don't want to use a light straw. We don't want to hang a bag up just to filter it. Right? So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, continue going to the well, continue going to the pump, like you know how to do and how you've always done, but now your water is going to be safe and it's going to be clean. Now to address this problem of longevity, we're actually going to be partnering with locals. So we are going to be training local high school students who are interested in STEM so that they not only learn about the system, but they're going to be able to maintain the system after it's been implemented. Okay, so we've told you about our product. But now, let me tell you why we are the best team out there to deliver you this solution. My name is Ayushi,
I'm Todd.
I'm Noah.
and we are a dedicated team of Princeton entrepreneurs and engineers. We have experience with water purification research, with solar energy, with batteries, and NGOs. We have the hard skills to see this project through.
So, today we've pitched you a company, not a product. Telecommunications, medical access, food preservation. All of these issues can be solved with, well, power. We've identified a sustainable solution to off-grid energy. So our hope is for WellPower to be a strong change development agent for years to come. So join us, because as we use our WellPower to tackle the world's greatest issues. Because where there's a well, there's a way.
So the illustration here shows 3 solar panels. That has one. How much kind of solar panel do you need
Yes.
to be able to assure that you've got enough power?
So the power requirements are quite low, and we're using upcycled solar panels, so they're secondhand. So we're using 3 panels at 300 watt efficiency, although they've slightly degraded over time, and that's more than enough to power our device. So we store the excess in batteries, so even once the sun's down, even for a few days after bad weather, it will still be powered. But we have plenty of power to spare.
And given where lithium-ion batteries are going to be produced, where they're going to be used, and the number of companies who are now developing technologies and business models to recycle lithium-ion batteries, how do you really believe that you can get lithium-ion batteries from the source to Africa in a cost-effective way relative to what others are going to be doing?
So as we mentioned, we plan to use pre-existing distribution networks to get our product to Africa. So you are a part of Doctors Without Borders, you're going to build a school or a hospital in rural Africa. You come to us, you buy WellPower, and you implement the system in 1 to 2 hours. So we pretty much plan on just piggybacking off the people who are already going for other reasons, and then they'll implement our system once they're there.
And additionally, we've seen a huge foreign direct investment from China bringing over these solar panels, bringing over agricultural tech, and along with that, they have a desire to improve the communities that they're helping. So they are one of the largest producers of lithium ion, and we plan on using those distribution networks as well.
Have you selected specific countries where you're going?
Yeah, so we've actually reached out to a town in Kenya, about population 2,000, called Kenya West. And we're actually targeting this town to begin with because there's a current Engineers Without Border team through Princeton University who actually is, since 2013, has had a water distribution project there already. So kind of based on our model is we're going to take advantage of that pre-existing network. So they go back every summer and they are working with water there. So therefore, we're going to start there. We're going to send our product over to integrate with that.
And we're going there this summer with our second round of prototype to implement it and get user feedback.
And have you done benchmarking of other, there's a lot of, I'm going to say the same, a lot of similar solutions. What's the biggest benefit of your solution relative to others that are available?
So the other solutions don't solve the underlying problem, which is energy. A life straw, you suck it up, it's $10 per person per year, and then they have to keep bringing it back. A gravity filter, you have to pull it up and it goes 5 liters per minute. We can filter with a box slightly bigger than this for an entire community, and this means that what we're providing is a full comprehensive solution that's culturally adoptable. The other solutions aren't sustainable, they're not long lasting, they aren't comprehensive.
And the business model, who owns this? The community owns it?
So we will be selling to NGOs who are already going to be implementing these wells or these pumps. For example, we will be selling to Engineers Without Borders, to Red Cross, et cetera, et cetera. So the local community will have a certain student who we will train, so they will be able to fix it. So right, to maintain it. But in terms of actually owning, we, in terms of fundraising, we don't have to worry about being a quote nonprofit because we are selling to nonprofits. So we are a startup.
And we consider it a gift to the council and township on behalf of the organization, but the organization pays us.
So if you tested the market with the Red Cross and I forgot who else, Doctors Without Borders, et cetera, you've tested with Engineers Without Borders, but what about other NGOs?
Right, so we've reached out to NGOs, such as the Red Cross and Engineers Without Borders, and those are the 2 that we're in discussion with, but Engineers Without Borders, that's one that we've really made plans with to actually start implementing. And we wanted to start in one place, make sure that it works, get that market research before we start to expand.
And we're demonstrating our prototype to a Red Cross representative in the next 2 weeks.